Well, as promised, the Jeep is painted and bedlined. It's been a long time coming, and it's the first time that it's actually looked like a Jeep in 2 years, and I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out. Got it back here, threw all my accessories on it. You can see my fill neck in there. Here's my regulator for my air compressor. Some lights around the bar for my spare tire. Fuel cells in there with the fittings. Still have to run fuel lines, mount my batteries, and I'm going to have a marine dual switch. This will be mounted right about here. So I'll run my starter off one and all my other devices off the other. And then I don't have to worry about dead batteries, or I can pull from both of them if I'd like. My molly pouch back on here. Here's where I keep the majority of my recovery gear, winch controller and such, first aid pack. And there's all my gear and jerry cans. It'll sit up on this basket here behind the spare tire when it's on there. My crusher corners are on and lined, as well as my fenders. See, my doors are on. I only got this hard lower and soft upper about 2 years ago when I started the project, and I think this is a desktop element door, soft lower and upper. Traded some parts worth like maybe $100 to a kid for these, and they're brand new. He never even used them. So what I'd like to do is have hard lower in the rear and in the front, and they'll be paint matched to the rest of the Jeep. Which, speaking of paint, I initially thought it was going to be more of a forest green, and my friend who ordered it from his shop actually ordered the wrong stuff, and I'm not disappointed in it at all. We sprayed the battery box and it looked good, so I said screw it, spray the rest, and it turned out really good. And this is actually treater and tank battery paint for the oil field, so it's extremely UV resistant, scratch resistant, and chemicals really don't affect it at all. So it should be pretty good for, the use of it. It's liner extreme for the bed liner, and that's throughout the entire vehicle. Got my wheel wells done, fenders, corners, fenders in the front, my louver and my cowl. Got some holes drilled in my dash, and I've got them marked out. You can see the red dots here. That plate's inside. We'll go in there in a little while and I'll show you what we've got going on there. But a little peek at the Jeep, all lined up. Seats are in here. The belts that I ordered are a lot longer than what I wanted, so I'll actually be getting different ones that actually strap onto the harness bar. Right now they're coming down to the factory bolt locations, where the lap belts will stay. So that'll get changed. Not necessarily safe, but it's better than nothing for right now. Heaters put in there. Got my pedal back in there. It's still shiny. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with that exactly. I think I'm just probably going to get a black one. My tack's mounted in there, and that's really all I have for devices put on here. Next step is starting to wire it up. So let's see. Well, I got my grill on here too that is also lined. And there are some defects in the paint. Bike in my way. The hood mainly. When we were taking it on and off the sawhorses, we were kind of in a rush to get it out. So you've got slight defects like that, but I think that's going to come off with time. Yeah, that almost came off there. Some paper towels and little tiny, I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up here, but you can see little scratches. And although I said that this paint doesn't really scratch, that was when it was still curing. Just a tiny bit of overspray from the bedliner right here. That may go away with time. And really the worst thing that happened, which I can live with it, and I think I might be able to get it off with a dry erase wheel, is this little portion here. I had some tape here, and that liner comes out extremely fast. I think we had it under, shooting at about 100 psi out of the gun, and it peeled the tape back and kind of hit this. But I think I can get that off with a dry erase wheel. Got a little bit here too. These are paint matched as well. Probably not going to stay nice for very long, but I still have about a whole gallon of paint and primer and half gallon of activator. So the beauty of this paint is it flat paint blends really well. So I might need to scuff it up just a hair, but I can set the compressor on low and just give her a little mist wherever I get scratches or any of these defects that don't come out. So I should be able to keep the Jeep looking pretty clean. But yeah, let's run inside and take a peek at what I've got going on in there. Hey, here we have my little workstation I've got set up to begin the electrical on the dash, which is essentially going to be the heart of all the electrical with the exception of the battery. So got the dash cut out and I have my devices in there. So I can flip this thing over. I'm going to sit down for a second here. Alright. So you saw a picture of the cardboard template, but here it is cut out with 3/16 steel. Got these holes cut in here to mount to the square tubing. All four of my switch pods. I don't have all the switches in there, obviously. There's a bunch over there. What I've got in here now are pretty much my lights on this side, horn, winch controls, air compressor. The remainder are there. My speedometer here, momentary push button for the starter. Here's the vintage air controls. You have off, low, medium, high for the blower, floor and defrost, floor and just defrost. Here's the control for the heat. Windshield washer, 2-position with momentary push on. USB ports, digital voltmeter, socket, and then boost, volts, pyrometer, oil, water, and fuel. And I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up here, but you can see that's cracked. Unfortunately, I pulled it out of one of these boxes and I couldn't tell because the reflection was messing with it. Oh, we got Willie up here. He's coming to help. But as soon as I pulled it out of there, I noticed it, and as you can see, void. So I'll have to live with that for the time being and buy a new one later on. Flip it back over one more time. Yeah, I always like. Plan here is to have my fuse box there, and then 2 terminal strips here, and should be able to wire the majority of it here, and then from the switches they can actually go out to the devices. Come here, kitty. Kitty, kitty. So yeah, I'm gonna get to wiring on this, and I'll send you off with some videos of it getting primed and painted. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos.